Hey, welcome to Davita's Stampin' Spot. I know I'm a few minutes early tonight, but unfortunately I am sick. This one just seems like a nasty cold, but not feeling very good. And I know the later it gets, the worse I'm going to feel. So I decided to hop on early. I'm going to show you 3 different cards tonight that we used for our demonstrator meeting the other day, because I just think they're great. So I'm going to start with my sample first. Forgot to take it out of the plastic. I hope you're having a good week. All right, so I cut this out and I used those whimsical dies. I love these. They add such great texture so easily. I'm using the Country Bouquet stamp set. I looked online and the punch is back ordered. You can still get the stamp set. So if after watching my demonstration, you would like to buy the bundle, I know you can't get the punch now, I'll give you the 10% savings on the stamp set and the punch if you want to go ahead and order the stamp set now so you have it for Valentine's Day. The one thing I do like is there are some other greetings that will work for year round. So I'm going to use these 2 stamps right now. These are your leaves and these are your flowers here. So I have found I like doing the flowers first and kind of judge by the point and the top of the heart there for the top of my flower. I apologize for the dings. I thought I shut my notifications off for text, but it didn't work and I'm getting messages. Sorry about that. And then I'm going to line up this top heart, top flower, and bottom heart to fill in the spots. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think that is so pretty. All right, and then I wanted a greeting that would work that wasn't Valentine's, because you know some of us don't need a lot of Valentine cards. So there's the front. I grabbed some of the DSP from the Country Floral Suite, and it is these hearts that I think are just really cute. I like how simple they are. As you guys know, I am a simple gal. Sorry, I forgot to make sure my glue was ready to go. You know, I haven't gotten text messages all day. All right, I shouldn't say that. I've gotten some. But, all right, let's see if this is ready. Wow, I actually have somebody watching. That means you were ready early tonight. All right, I gotta get a new glue bottle. Oh, I tell you, I was at school all 5 days last week. So many sick kids, but I didn't think I'd caught anything. And Saturday didn't feel too bad. Woke up Sunday morning and oh my goodness, sore throat and stuffy nose. So I've been not feeling the best. All right, then I'm going to layer it with the white. When we do our meetings, we usually kind of use the middle in difficulty cards. And my cards, none of them were real difficult this time. I guess I was in an easy mood. So this card seems pretty simple, but I love the way it turns out. And I'm going to add some dimension by using dimensionals on it. All right, and I'll pull those off. This week I'm actually using stamp sets that aren't part of Celebration. I've still got a lot of Celebration projects I want to share with you. But all right, and then as part of the class or the meetings that we had, where'd I lay them? We got these. Well, you know what? I'm going to go back to what I did before. I pulled out some of the red hearts, or red hearts, the sequins here. I thought that, nope, those aren't the ones I used. I used the in colors. Here we go. Because this is Sweet Sorbet, I'm going to pull a sweet sorbet gem here. And I liked it right down here. And then I wanted to add a little bow, because you know I'm all about twine bows these days. Funny thing is, I wanted to use these for the meeting and I could not find this ribbon. So I gave up and didn't use it. And then on Saturday found it. So we're going to use it here. I like how the twine ties so easily to make a nice bow. Use a glue dot. Like I said, mine is probably the easiest of the three that we did. That's one of the nice things about being a demonstrator, is that we have a group of ladies here in the Kansas City area, and we actually have some from Oklahoma and down by Wichita that join us too. And we get together and we get to craft and encourage and help each other, which is a lot of fun. I'm trying to find my other paper. For the inside on this one, I love the open image heart in this set. And so I stamped it in the corner. And then on there are either outlined hearts or solid. And I have chosen to do the solid up there and outlined around here. And then I'm not going to put a greeting on this because I love that we are friends. You could use that for all kinds of occasions. So that's my first one. Now I'm going to put my red away because the other two cards use blue. So the next cards have balmy blue and knit macron for the colors. This one was designed by Julie Sperman, and she made a really cute card. So this one is 4 1/4 by 11. And then she scored it at 2 3/4. And we're going to take, and you're going to notice on the back as those hearts that I liked, she's using the hearts and leaves on the other side. You know, that's always good and bad. Our designer series paper is so pretty that sometimes it's hard to cover up the back. You want to make it all available so you can see it. All right. And for time's sake, I went ahead and stamped the heart image. And when you stamp it, it gets stamped like that. So you can see this is what it looks like. And so I just stamped it on scratch paper. And then I was able to get the punch. So I punched those out. And then I did my leaves in knit macron. And let's see, here's my punch. So you can see it's got the heart and the 2 leaves and then the little heart that's upside down. So I'm going to use dimensionals again. And pop the heart up. You guys, when you come to class, people always talk about, well, I got a stamp on the back. And I tell you, oh, I do it all the time. Well, there's evidence. As I was stamping these today and getting pieces ready, wasn't happy with my stamped image. So I flipped it over and tried again. And I want another point at the end. All right, this is the Stitch or Stylish Shapes dies. If you don't have those, during the celebration would be the perfect time to get them because it will help get you up towards that $50 amount. And they're so versatile. Oh my gosh, I just find that I'm using them all the time now. So on Julie's card, she chose the saying for the front that says, just wanted to say. And then on the inside, you can say, I love you. I love that we are friends. Happy Valentine's Day. And we just wanted to say for you with love. So a lot of options in this set. So I wanted to stamp that greeting before I added my heart and leaves. It's kind of funny, this set really promotes the idea of leaves around a heart, which wouldn't have thought of that before. But even the designer series paper has some of that. It's kind of fun. And if you don't have the, if you get the stamp set right now, and you have to wait on the punch. These are easy to cut out. They're real simple images, so not hard at all. And I'm trying to find my gems. I had them laying right here, so they would be ready for tonight. Ah, there they are. These are the adhesive backed sequins, and they've got this blue. And she had the fun idea just to put one blue one right up here on the heart. So she used the square shaped or the stylus shaped dies. So we're just going to layer that on top. They both did a fun fold this time, which normally I do. I don't know, this time I just didn't. So they only got 2 fun folds this time. All right, so this one's going to be added right there. So as you guys know, whenever I do that, I'm going to use tear tape so that it holds really well. I always put tear tape on the one side that's going to be stuck down. And I do this because when you have cards that are going to move, you want to make sure that it stays down and it stays attached. So then I always put adhesive on this side as well. So I'm hoping in February I'm going to do a few additional videos more than just on Monday nights. I've had some people asking me some questions about the Big Shot and embossing folders and embossing. And I'd like to do just a short little video with some tips and tricks. I'm supposed to have some days off in February from school. You guys know I'm a substitute teacher, and right now I'm working almost every day. I know today we were short 2 or 3 subs. Friday we were short 3. So I mean, definitely work every day, and then by the time I get home, it seems like I don't have a lot of time to stamp. I'm hoping in February to have a little more time. All right, and then here's my other heart. I'm going to take it and I'm going to place it down here. And I could have just stamped it and masked, but I decided I'd just stamp it and punch it out. And I apologize for my stuffiness sound tonight. I feel like I'm froggy too. Like that. And then we're going to add another sequence. I have to tell you the lights that I use broke on Saturday, and so I have all these little tiny pieces of I don't know, the base of it are all over the place. Oh, I've got a mess to clean up. Just what I wanted to do. I'd much rather stamp. I'm also planning on putting together some kits that you could buy, and they will be kits that, of course, I can't stamp them for you. That's against Stampin' Up! Policy, but I can cut out designer series paper or punch things out for you so that you can make some really cute cards. And so hopefully I'll have that ready in the next few days too. All right, so there's Julie's card. Isn't that cute? And then I forgot one thing. I'm going to find my greeting again. Look at this, guys. I have a new chamois that doesn't have tons of ink on it. If you've been coming to class, you know that most of my ink or chamois look awful. I'm going to use that. I love that we are friends again. All right, so that's the second one. And let me show you the third one. It's a little more advanced, I guess I would say. And when I first looked at it, to be quite honest, I thought, oh, I know exactly how to do that. But she had a fun twist on it that made it where it folds much better. So I'm going to show that to you. Share that with you. There we go. So this card is 5.5 by 8.5. She scored it at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. And the first thing I'm going to do is take some more of the paper that comes in the suite called Country Bouquet Lane, I believe is the name of it. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so there's your front. Now, normally I would take it and fold this back, but this one we're actually going to go like this and make it so it catches on something over here. All right, so I want to take this little strip and I'm going to use the greeting that says "for you." It's also in this set. And I forgot to put it on a block, so hang on just a second. It was fun. I was showing, happened to have some of these stamps at school. You guys, if you know me, know I'm usually taking stuff to school. And the person was like, well, how do they stick to those blocks? And I said, well, they stick and then you just peel them back off. And like, are you kidding? I'm like, no. Oh, that is so cool. And I have to agree, it does work really well. All right, so we're going to do "for you," and then I'm going to cut this off smaller. And then we do have some dies and punches that would punch this out, but I'm just going to use my snips. So there's my little label, "for you." And then we are going to stamp on scrap paper. Find it here. We're going to stamp the double hearts. Ooh. Wow, my lucky day, those actually worked pretty well. We'll grab the punch, slide it in. Going to give you a little tip here. So when I did the first time I did the two parts, they didn't line up with the punches. And you know, that can happen very easily if you're not paying attention as you put your stamps on your block. So if that would happen, take your stamp off, lay it down like it's stamping, and just kind of drop it loosely, and it will go back to the shape it's supposed to be in. And then pick it up with your block, and it should work perfectly for your punches and dies. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves and stamp them in the mint macron. Now, one of the ladies at the meeting on Saturday said you could line these up, the two stamps, so that you can punch all four out at once. I did not try to do that today. All right, there we go. Now, those of you that like a lot of pattern are going to love Diana's design because she likes more pattern than I do. I always tell them I'm a plain Jane and she's a pattern queen because she loves mixing her patterns. And the nice thing is that to each their own, and we can all enjoy each other's. And so after I look at hers, I'm always like, oh, that looks so cool. But I find when I go back to work and I go back to my plain Jane ways. And I'm sure you guys probably noticed that with yourself too. Or maybe you evolved. You used to be one or the other and you switched. I used all the dimensionals off that sheet, so I'm grabbing another little sheet here. I'm going to put some dimensionals on the heart. Knew I was going early tonight. I suppose I should look and let's see if there's any comments. If there are, I cannot see them. So if you've given me a comment, I apologize. I will mention here, and before I do it, I will make huge announcements on it. I'm seriously thinking about trying to do it live on YouTube because I just continue to have issues with Facebook. They just, I don't know, it just feels like they make it harder and harder to get things to work. All right, and again, they're going, her idea was to put the 2 leaves underneath the heart. I'm gonna do that. In the meeting, we talked about how these leaves can go either direction and you can angle them. So if you've got a different type of space, you can change the look. And then I'm going to add 3 blue ones because she used the blue cardstock and then has the pink and the all of a sudden I realized I'm using the big sequins and there's a small package. I had it laying here. I'm getting ready for our stamp camp this weekend, and so I've got way too much stuff laying around here. That'll work. We'll do that. All right. And she also used the stylish shapes. And so she used circles. I used, Julie used the squares. I'm using the squares for stamp camp this weekend. I just love how it stitches all around the outside. And there's, I think, 4 layers for the circles, 4 sizes, and the same for the squares, which I think is cool. So there's your center. Now, when I first saw her sample, I thought, oh, she just glued that down. But she has come up with a great way to make it move better. So I'm going to show that to you here. What she did was she cut out 2 small circles. They look like they're about 1 inch, I think. And he showed us that a neat way to make sure these have a score line in them is just to line them up on your score, stamp and score, and just go down in the middle like that. And then when you fold it, you've got a nice fold right in half. Which is so smart because sometimes I'm trying to get a nice fold and I can't get it to work. And then she showed us to glue down just 1/2 of it here in the center. So I thought Diane had an awesome idea. We're going to put it right there, make sure that's held down well, and then do the exact same thing on the other side so that the flaps go out. Then I'm going to put adhesive on the top of these circles and place my circle right over the top. Now, isn't that slick? I thought that was such a cool idea. So then as you move it, it's got something to hold it in place and it stands up. Can you see that? Look how that stands up. Isn't that a smart idea? Diane is just so smart. All right, and then I'm going to take the For You, put it right down here. So for my inside, I want to create a spot so that this will pop up so it can stand. So I punched out the little heart when I remember I stamped the red. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to pop him up with a dimensional so that the paper will hold next to him. And I want to kind of center it right here. I'm going to go about right there. And again, grab the sequins so that it helps pull in that blue from the cardstock. And then we'll glue this piece down. So isn't it fun to see how different our cards turned out? We all had the same supplies, and then we made 3 cards I thought that looked very different. All right. Then that will pop just like that. Let's stand up. Isn't that fun? So I want to thank Diane and Julie. I asked them if it would be okay if I did this, and they didn't disagree with me. So I'm thankful they let me share these tonight. And then here's mine. show you the other one I created with this. That's with the sequins. And then the first one I designed, I didn't have the sequins yet. And that's not the one I made tonight. Where'd it go? Because I added my... I will be posting more pictures this week. Oh, here it is. Of the projects. See, you can see it was different. I did the red with the bow up here instead of the gold on this one. I've made several cards with this set. So kind of watch each day. I'll be posting some of the different cards that we've made. Again, if you would like to have this suite, you can order the stamp set, but the punch is on back order. But if you order it in the next week, when the punch is available, we can get the punch for you, and I'll give you the 10% discount like you bought the bundle originally as a bundle. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks to those of you that hopped on, even though I'm early tonight. You guys have an awesome week, and I'll see you next Monday, hopefully with a better voice.